Hi everyone, thank you for taking the time to view my video focusing on how I'm starting to embrace my curly Asian hair. My name is Rosie Chung and I have a self-titled website covering an array of categories including arts and culture, fashion, travel, inspiration, and much more. The most unique original content that I produce for my website currently are my editorial letters, where I share stories, conversations, personal thoughts, and private journal entries. This is the first time I'm recording a video for my online platform, but lately I felt as if the ideas and topics that I want to cover for my website have slightly evolved. And so in addition to writing and photography, I felt compelled to start sharing my story through a supplemental medium. And I am inviting people just like you to be part of my new journey. So it all started when I agreed to be a volunteer for a curl cutting class at my friend's salon in West Hollywood earlier this year in March 2017. The experience began with a conversation on how I was presently caring for and maintaining my hair. I explained my daily routine, which is pretty much co-washing almost every day, and after every rinse, I would apply a dollop of leave-in conditioner to my hair, and that was pretty much it. Just like walk out the door. And wait for it to dry. I truly love the idea of my hair being super low maintenance on a daily basis, and I felt like I perfected that routine down to a T. Apparently not, because during the consultation, she repeatedly and innocently kept asking me, Rosie, are you sure you're okay with having frizzy hair all the time? Not knowing how to respond, I just kept saying yes, but I was internally dying because I couldn't understand what I was doing wrong or what do you mean, Frizzy? Trust me, I appreciate the sheer honesty. I'm that kind of person. I usually have Freudian slips and I sometimes forget to use discretion like my mother. But up until that day, no one has ever come up to me and told me that my hair was frizzy. I wasn't offended. I was just shocked and really confused. Um, that day, my friend showed me some really great tips on how to care for and style my hair. I left the salon with a lot of confidence on how much potential my curls had. I saw how curly my hair could get. Unfortunately, I went straight back to my die-hard routine because I wasn't ready to accept a new methodology or lifestyle. I wasn't convinced that there was anything wrong with my hair. But after that day, I kept thinking about what she had asked me over and over again. I wondered, what was I doing wrong with my hair? Had I been living a lie this whole time? Fast forward to 3 months later, in July 2017, I found myself looking at old photos of my college years, 2011 to 2014, Cal State Fullerton, if any of you are wondering. I had some really good moments then. As a matter of fact, I recall receiving multiple compliments on my hair during college. It had been a really long time since anyone complimented my hair. And then it hit me, the result of my frizzy hair and super fail routine was a combination of two crucial saddening factors. That I truly did not know how to care for my hair and that my current routine was a way to tame my curls, not necessarily a way to embrace it. So now the question is, what took me so long to decide that I wanted to start loving my curly Asian hair and go on this healthy hair transformation journey? Well, first of all, I was not born with curly hair. True story. I was born with straight hair. I think people get a little surprised about that. They're like, really? Like, then how did it happen? How did you get curly hair? In high school, my hair started forming waves, and in college, my hair became completely curly. That's less than half of my life living with hair I didn't know I was going to have for the rest of my life. Super confusing. It's almost as bad as going through puberty. In fact, that's probably what it was. Maybe my curly hair was a result of terribly late blooming. So I guess I have the privilege of saying I'm a late bloomer. Well, because of this very important fact, I've been dealing with an adjustment period and a learning curve, to say the least. 10 years later, I'm still learning about how to care for my curls today. And I think that point wonderfully leads to my second reason. I didn't grow up with a curly community. Learning how to care for my curly hair wasn't, and it still isn't easy. Although curly hair is normal within my ethnicity, I'm Cambodian. I probably forgot to mention that. I think that's a really important thing to know. Being the only daughter with curly hair in the family made it difficult for my mother to advise me on how to care for and love it. I'm one of four daughters, and my youngest sister does have wavy hair, but it's still not as curly as mine. Truthfully, my mother abhors my hair texture and is constantly asking why I won't do a straight perm to tame it. She claims that my curly hair ages me, but considering she's gotten a few perms in the 80s, I think it's safe to assume that she's just jealous. Although I've never faltered to my mother's idea of beauty or that of my culture, where straight or straightened hair is more of a standard, I don't think I've ever tried to determine the true value of my curly hair because I never found a community of people to support what was unique about me. And since we're on the topic of Asians with curly hair, I must say that it's extremely frustrating to not have much success in finding photos of Asian women with naturally curly hair in Google search images. So let me explain. It's a total hashtag curly hair problem. You are more likely to see hairstyles of curled hair created with a curling iron or some other byproduct more than you would see photos of someone actually born with it. Just look up curly Asian hair or curly hair in Google search images. You'll see and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. Here's an even more entertaining thing. When I attempt to look up the keywords curly Cambodian hair or Cambodian curly hair in Google search images, I come across photos of hair extensions and women wearing it who I don't look anything like, by the way. No wonder why I'm such a confused human being. Lastly, I didn't know what I didn't know until now. It's already hard enough to have uncommon hair texture amongst your family members and people within your culture. I can't recall growing up with anybody else who had curly hair within my culture and ethnicity at least. Top that with a lack of resources on how to care for your hair, and you get complete chaos. It's one thing to have curly hair, but it's another thing to actually live with it, and this is why I'm here. My first encounter of someone who taught me how to care for my curly hair was my beloved hairstylist of 8 years. Although she meant well, I now realize that going to a curl expert will make a difference in knowing how to care for your hair and optimizing how beautiful it could look. My then hairstylist would always assume that my hair was dry and brittle because I wasn't using the right shampoo and conditioner products or that I was using too many heat styling products. And she would always ask me, and I'm like, no, and I'm not lying. Like, why would you repeatedly ask me if I'm telling you no? 'Cause here's the thing. For the last 6 years, I was using a shampoo slash conditioner with safe ingredients, and I didn't own a heat styling product until 2 years ago. I was under the impression that using a product labeled as moisturizing would do the job, but after doing a lot of research on what it takes to have healthy curly hair, it turns out that there are quite a few methodologies and product solutions to incorporate in order to get it right. And that includes the curly girl method, no poo, not using sulfates, parabens, etc. That was not something my then hairstylist or my family could teach me because they weren't curl experts. We just didn't know what we didn't know. In September, I declared that I would change my lifestyle and the attitude I had about my hair. I declared that I would not just say that I love it, but that I would show that I would love it by unleashing its full potential, pretty much meaning like maximizing my curls, trying to see like how curly can my hair get. I've read that it takes up to 6 weeks for hair to transition from poor chemical usage on the strands, and judging by the many progress photos I've seen of others logging their hair transformations over up to a year, I know that my journey is barely beginning. This journey is not just about the superficial aspect of hair and looking stellar on the outside, although who wouldn't want to just have great hair every day? I hope to find comfort, confidence, and celebrate who I truly am. And best of all, I hope that I can inspire others to do just the same thing. For the past 2 months, I've been doing tons of research, lurking on a bunch of online forums, just peeping through, visiting websites of product brands to see what's available on the market, reading reviews, and discovering other curly haired girls who just absolutely rock. It's been really exciting to connect with others, and I'm hoping to do more of that. I wrote a blog post supporting this video, so if you want more details, check out the link in the video description. For additional questions, comments, quips, quotes, or queries, add them below. I'd love to start a conversation with you. Let's connect. My social handles are at Rosie Chung for Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Google+, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and Twitter. You can read articles from my blog at www.rosiechung.com. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.